Yo, what's up, guys? Let's take a quick peek at tomorrow's games, guys. Let's do a little overnight betting preview for the games. 8 games on the schedule. Some interesting matchups. Let's take a look. First game, Denver at New York. Denver 2-point favorite. I had New York favored by 2. I was wrong. Had the wrong team favored in this game. I did expect the Knicks to be favored. They have been playing pretty good basketball. Um, Split on the road trip. They were coming back from a 4-game road trip. They split in that road trip. Played 3 out of the 4 games without Jalen Brunson. He's listed as questionable for tomorrow. I think he was in a walking boot when he was following the team. He was on the road trip. Looked like he was in a walking boot. I don't know if he's going to be ready to play again tomorrow. This line does kind of indicate that he might not be playing, because if he was, I don't know if Denver would be favored. Denver, guys, we know lately has been struggling a bit. The big lead that they have in the Western Conference standings, 4.5 game over Denver and Memphis, the second and third place teams. They don't have too much motivation. The only thing they want to do is just try to keep playing, not lose the momentum that they've had from all season. In their last game against Detroit, didn't look that great for the first 3 quarters of that game. Detroit actually went up in that game, I think, by 5 in the fourth quarter. They made a huge run, though, big 25, 26-point run to win that game. I also covered the spread. Good sign for them. Saw some videos of them in the locker room afterwards. They looked happy to snap that losing streak. Guys, New York, definitely the team with the most, more motivation out of the two tomorrow. New York is in 5th place. There's 3 games behind Cleveland. I don't think they're going to catch them. There's only 10 games left in the season, 12 games for these teams. So 3 games is it's quite a lot with just 10 games left in the season. But the 6th and 7th place teams, guys, are not that far behind. Brooklyn, a game and a half. Miami, 3 games back. They do need to be a little careful. A loss in tomorrow games won't be the end of the world, but definitely they are going to be more motivated for a win than Denver will be. Even though, guys, in this game, I think Denver is the better team. New York tends to perform better on the road than they do at home. Probably leaning with playing Denver in here. Next game, Orlando with the Clippers. Clippers 6.5-point favorites. I had the Clippers favored by 9. Just checked the injury report. Looks like Kawhi Leonard load management tomorrow. Clippers have been playing great. 4-game winning streak. They seem to have picked things up with all their new players that they picked up during the trade deadline. And Russell Westbrook, he's been playing great. It looks like a good fit for the Clippers. That idiot Skip Bayless is probably eating his words now. I like the Clippers, guys. Even without Kawhi Leonard, I would probably favor a win and cover in tomorrow's game. Even though Orlando, guys, we know is a tough outfit. They lost just details in their last game against Phoenix. They lost by 3. They had a chance in that game. Very tough outfit. A lot of respect for Orlando, guys. They could easily be tanking, looking to get better positioning at the bottom of the East, but they're playing every game out. You can tell that they're trying to get W's. Clippers, guys, I think just too much for them tomorrow, even without Kawhi. I'm going to be looking for a play with the Clippers, probably with the 6.5. I think when a lot of people see that Kawhi isn't playing, I'm sure this line could probably go a little lower, could probably get a better number. Next game, Philly at Indiana. Philly, 6.5-point favorite. I had Philly favored by 7.5. They're going to be on the second night of back-to-back. They won easily in Charlotte tonight by 30 points, I think. No starters played more than 31 minutes. Actually, James Harden played the 31 minutes, and that, I think, he played just to get the triple-double. He got a triple-double. Philly, guys, probably playing the best basketball in the whole league right now. Very impressive. Team looks like they can do a lot of damage. Game is going to be very important for them also. Every game from now on, they're in a fight with Boston and Milwaukee. They're just a game behind Boston now. And that's just because they have 2 games less than Boston. Both teams were in action tonight. Both teams won. Milwaukee's first with just a game and a half lead over those 2 teams. It's a big battle going on over there. Positioning is very, very important at top of the Eastern Conference, guys. Extremely important. Every game is important for Philadelphia, Boston, and Milwaukee. They are going to be the favorite. They are the favorite in this game, rightfully so. Indiana guys, they just they went into Milwaukee and beat the Bucks straight up. Big win for Indiana, even though they were without Tyrese Halliburton. We know at home, guys, they're a tough team, very tough team. They could easily do the damage also to the Sixers tomorrow. I'm leaning for a Sixers W here, but if I had to play this handicap over here, I might go with Indiana in the points, the plus 6.5. Maybe they could keep this game close. Philadelphia, I do expect them to win, but this could be a close ball game. Interesting matchup. Next game, Minnesota, Toronto. Toronto's a 7.5-point favorite. I had Toronto favored by 7. This is a half point higher than my estimate. The reason for this high line, guys, obviously Minnesota's coming off second night of a back-to-back. They were in Chicago tonight, lost in overtime. They also lost Anthony Edwards. He sprained his ankle early in that game. Minnesota kept battling for the whole game. Just didn't have enough. The Raptors have been playing pretty well. They've won 2 straight ever since coming back from their road trip. Last victim were the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not an easy team. They beat them comfortably. The game before that, they beat Denver. A couple of very good ball clubs. Rightfully so, the favorites in tomorrow's game, especially if Edwards doesn't play, which it looks like he probably won't. They are the favorites, guys, to win and possibly cover the spread. We know Minnesota tends to have Rudy Gobert on the injury report every day as questionable. Mike Conley up there in age. It'll be a tough game probably for those veterans. I don't know how much the rest of the players could pull the rest of the weight to keep the Timberwolves competitive. Toronto, guys, if I had to go with in this game with any team, would probably be with Toronto. Lay the points. Next game, Sacramento, Washington. Sacramento 2.5-point favorite. Sacramento favored by 3. Line is fairly accurate over here, just a half point lower than my estimate. Sacramento, guys, has been playing absolutely fantastic basketball. They won a couple straight after that buzzer beater that they with Darren Fox hit in Chicago. They followed that up with a really nice win in Brooklyn. They continue their road trip. They're going to be in Washington. Not an easy place to play. Washington, it was in Cleveland tonight. They lost big to the Cavs once the game got out of hand. Coach pulled the plug, obviously looking ahead to tomorrow night's game. I just looked at the box score. Starters didn't get too many minutes in that game also. Sacramento guys are going to have some injury concerns for tomorrow. Trey Lyles listed as questionable. Kevin Huerter, he pulled his hamstring. He actually got an MRI on that. He's listed as questionable, but I doubt he plays, guys. He did come back clean, but I doubt he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow. I seriously doubt that. Very important player for Sacramento. Tomorrow's game is going to be a shootout. Guaranteed. These teams like to run up and down. Just look at the over-under, the 235.5. Also shows that we could expect a very up-tempo game. Guys, in this game, even though Washington did lose big in their game tonight, I am kind of favoring them in tomorrow's game. If I had to take anything, I'd probably go with Washington, the points, even though it's not a good idea betting against the Kings. They have proven a lot of people wrong. But I kind of like Washington in this spot. I'm going to be looking at this 2.5. I do expect this line to get bet up tomorrow. I really do. I'm going to be looking for a bet on Washington. Next game, Golden State at Memphis. Golden State on the road once again. Memphis 4.5-point favorites. I had Memphis favored by 4. Line is accurate, just a half point higher. Memphis guys, they just completed the biggest comeback win of the season. They were down 29 points in San Antonio. First of all, the first thing we got to talk about is how the hell can you get down 29 points to the San Antonio Spurs? The Grizzlies managed to do that, but they made a huge run in the second half. Wow, 29 points. They were down by 9, I think, with a minute left. Just a flurry of threes. San Antonio just making stupid mistakes one after the other. Practically gave them the game. Memphis guys, last two hasn't looked too sharp. And the game before that, they got destroyed in Miami. They could have easily lost again yesterday. Things aren't looking that great. Not that anything is looking better for the Warriors. Warriors were in Atlanta tonight. Another loss. I think it was their 9th or 10th straight loss on the road. Just 7-28 on the season. Just an absolute disaster. 2 straight losses now again. And this is going to be a back-to-back. We also know the guys of the back-to-back. They tend to sit Klay Thompson, but I don't think they have the luxury of sitting any players tomorrow. Draymond Green's going to be coming back also. He was out tonight because he had gotten his 16th technical. He was suspended. He's going to be back tomorrow. Guys, I know it's dangerous. Doesn't look good. but I am actually leaning on a play with Golden State tomorrow. But we've got to see who's going to be in and out for the Warriors, second night of back-to-back. And it was a tough loss tonight in Atlanta. Check it out. Always tough to bet on the Warriors, guys. Everybody chasing them. Just keep losing and losing with the Warriors on the road. Let's look at the next game, Miami at Chicago. Miami 3.5-point favorite. I had Miami favored by 4. Line, again, accurate here. Miami's playing some pretty good basketball lately. They look like they've gotten serious. They won a couple straight. 38 and 33 now, just a game and a half behind Brooklyn. They could easily catch Brooklyn, guys. They do have the quality on their team to do it. And I think they're going to be trying to get it every game. They're playing very hard, and their last couple they looked convincing. Not really what they have gotten used to seeing them all season. They've been very inconsistent, but especially in their last game against Memphis, they went crazy, guys. Played very good basketball. Chicago guys, like I just mentioned, they were playing against the Timberwolves tonight. Needed overtime in order to get that W. The reason for this 3.5-point line, it would have been lower if they didn't need overtime. I would probably be a point lower. Chicago, of course, is capable, guys. They also need W's. They're in 10th place, just a half game above Indiana and Washington. Both these teams are, especially Washington. Washington, you could tell, guys, they're making a push. They're making a push. Indiana, maybe not so much. They might be content with sitting out the play-in tournament. Maybe get a better draft pick. But Washington is definitely on their tail. This is a tough game, guys. Extremely tough game. If I had to go either way, I'd probably take Miami, even though this will not be an easy ball game. And the last game of the schedule, guys, no lineup yet. Boston at Utah. I have Boston estimated as a 4-point favorite. Line is not up right now as I'm doing this video. Boston was in action tonight. Jason Tatum ended up playing. They beat the Blazers comfortably. Second night of back-to-back for them. I don't think they're going to be sitting anybody, guys. Like I just mentioned, they are in a very tight race in the East. They need wins. They need wins because whoever ends up finishing up third in the East is going to have a tough time making it to the finals. They're not going to have home court advantage. They're going to have to play the second seed, and then logically Milwaukee in the finals, in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be a tough road. I do expect Boston to win this game, guys. Utah, we know, of course, they are right there in the mix of things to make the play-in tournament, but I don't think they have the motivation to actually get in. I think Danny Ainge wants to rebuild. He's got a bunch of draft picks, bunch of cap space. I think he's just going to want to get some extra picks, make his moves in the offseason. Leaning with the play on Boston, even though I don't know the line yet, and I also don't know what the injury report is going to look like. Malcolm Brogdon didn't play tonight. Marcus Smart did play. He was questionable. He ended up playing. So yeah, this is what we got for you for tomorrow, guys. My leans so far probably be on Denver, the Clippers, Indiana plus points. I do expect Philly to win, but keep the game close. Toronto should win and cover the 7.5. Washington with the points. I'm actually looking at Golden State. I know I'm crazy looking at Golden State and possibly a play on Miami and Boston. Boston needs W's. These are my thoughts, guys, for tomorrow's games. The overnight leans. Of course, tomorrow we'll look at the lines, the injury report, all the good stuff, and see if we can come up with some good plays. That's what I got for you guys. See you in the next video. Later.